Hey guys, I probably should have waited until that siren stopped, but I think you can hear me. So it's warm out today. It's like in the 50s somewhere. And this weekend we had like a snowstorm. Anyway, what I came on the Facebook Live thing to talk about was forgiveness. I'm personally not thinking, I wasn't thinking of anyone in particular, but now I am. I was listening to Michael Singer, as you do, and one of the things he was talking about was, he's like, forgiveness. Like, I want you to forgive the person and let go, but more than that, you need to let go of the reason you have to forgive the person, which is our suffering and pain, right? I mean, whatever they did, it caused us some suffering, pain, whatever it was. That's what you have to let go. I mean, you have to forgive the person to do that, or you have to do that to forgive the person, one or the other. I'm not quite sure. I think you have to do that. I think for me, forgiveness comes first. I have a situation with a relative of mine where, very close relative, or was at one point, very close. And she, she's smart, she's funny, she's got she is kind. She's thoughtful in the sense of like thinking about stuff. But she also has something going on in her psyche where she feels like she's being attacked all the time. And it doesn't matter what you say. You can say the nicest, most gentle thing to her. And she views it as attacking. Over the summer, I had some words with her because she was doing something that was, honestly, like pretty shitty. And I wouldn't have said anything if it didn't affect the people that I loved. Well, me and the people that I loved, because it was so colossally awful. And I texted her because she doesn't pick up the phone. And I said it in the nicest way. Like, I was so nice about it. Just like talking about how much I love her and how much I want her in my life and how much all of us want her in our lives. And, being hurt by the fact that she's not a part of our lives and stuff like that. That's really what the text was about. And she wrote back, like, excuse me, I'm glad you're angry at me. I'm glad I have a place to, sorry. See, that's right there, right? I'm mocking her. But it's because it hurt me. So what happened as a result was that every once in a while I gotta check around me because I got a weird threat over the weekend. I don't think anything's gonna come of it. There's not really anything he can do. He's in a different state and it would take a really concerted effort to find me, but it was a weird threat. So just being more aware of my surroundings, which is a good thing because I am famously unaware of everything. I just live in my head sometimes. Anyway, so with this, did I press that button? So with this relative, there was this, and it didn't matter what I said after that. I said, you really should be helping out here. You're hurting the person, that shouldn't, one of the people who should mean most in our lives. You're hurting them, and it's not a good time to hurt them. And because my mother was sick, and potentially could die at any moment. So I said, just think about it. Like, when is it going to be too late for you to kind of step up? But I said it in a nice way. I really did. It's not just me saying. I can show you the text. And she flipped out. I was a horrible person. I was abusing her. She would never do anything to hurt me like this, so she doesn't know why. See, this is the work. Relax and release. You know, it was really hurtful. It was really hurtful, and I tried to explain to her what was actually happening. I said to her, look, whatever it is that's going on in your mind, that's not what's actually happening here. Please pay attention to what I'm saying. You know, and but I said it even nicer than that. And the thing is, she accused me of doing what she does when she gets angry. And it's hurtful that she should know me well enough to know, like, anger's not my... Anger's her thing. Anger's a lot of our... We grew up with a lot of anger around us. And everybody kind of adapted to internalize the anger, well, get the anger and deal with anger the same way. I internalized it and I got angry at myself. So I very rarely get angry at other people, except for in cases of like self-righteousness, where I'm like, you are wrong. But you know, I try and say it as nicely as possible, unless I think the person's evil or is the embodiment of evil, or is channeling evil into the world. Anyway, and even then. But anyway, so the fact that she thinks that this is how I behave when I'm angry is hurtful, because she clearly doesn't know me. And then it's so sad because she turns around and she accuses me of what she does when she gets angry. And when she gets angry, she lashes out. You know, she tries to hurt people. And there have been many instances throughout our lives where that has happened, and I still hold on to them. I remember them, you know, because it was so hurtful. And not because of the things that she said, but because of the fact that she was trying that hard to hurt me. Like, she was pulling out all the stops. She digs deep, you know, she digs really deep into the past and into the things that you shared with her, you know, and she weaponizes them and uses them against you, which honestly does not bother me. Words do not bother me. Like, because I know she doesn't mean them the way that she's talking about them. What she's doing is trying to hurt me. And she's literally doing every single thing she possibly can to do so. And that's sort of what she was accusing me of, which is sad, because she is a somewhat thoughtful person, she thinks. But we don't talk much anymore. And it's been years since we have. But it seems to me that her self-awareness hasn't really changed, which is sad. Anyway, the point is, because of all of this, because of the incident over the summer, she's no longer talking to me. She's blocked me because of my crazy texts, which are all about love and how I don't want to be fighting with her, and how I'd like her to listen, or to actually see what I'm saying and not, you know, like, leave your preconceived notions behind. I mean, it really, like, I can't really stress how nice I was, you know, so, because I want you guys to know, like, I say, you know, she flipped out, she has these, you know, she called me crazy, she did da-da-da-da, and I don't want you thinking, oh, it's one-sided, it's, you know, I'm giving you my side, and she should give you hers, which would be great if she did, but I can show you the texts. And I showed them to many people, and all of them are like, because I look for the thing, see, this is where the hurt is. I look for places where I'm wrong. I find places where I'm wrong. I make up shit about how I'm wrong. And I don't see me being wrong in this situation. So I gotta believe that there's no way that I'm wrong. You know? I mean, Christ, my therapist heard about it. I read the text to my therapist and she's like, I get it. Anyway, the point is, yeah, that was a lot of emotion. I have completely not even gotten to the point yet. The point is, she is no longer talking to me. she's blocked me. And that means, I mean, honestly, I could be okay with that. I mean, it's sad, but I could be okay with that. The problem comes in that she had a baby a year and a half ago. And I really, really want to know that baby. I really want to be a part of her life. And I really don't want her thinking I'm a horrible person. Maybe I can write her a letter for when she's 18 or something and be like, I'm sorry that I wasn't in your life. It wasn't by choice. I wanted to be there. Your mother, you know, insisted that I'm not. Because here's the thing, I can't apologize to her. I have spent a long time apologizing to her to keep her left out. The last time we had a fight, which was a year before this fight, I said, I'm sorry that you feel that way. I didn't say sorry for what I did because what I did was not bad. I mean, I said one thing that I shouldn't have. One thing. But it wasn't said to hurt her. That's nice. It wasn't said to hurt her. It was said to prove a point about how she doesn't talk to me. And how it hurts me. It's actually the point was about me being hurt. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I think I wore boots. It's muddy, see? So, anyway, I don't get to see the baby. I don't get to be in the baby's life. And that's sad. It's really sad. I have other children who are in similar positions or in the exact same positions as far as being related to me, and they are the most important people to me. They are the sweetest, kindest little kids. And I mean, they're not even little kids anymore, right? They're getting to be big kids, which is awesome, but also like, no, you're so little, stay little for a little while longer. But it's also fun to see them grow up. I wouldn't mind if it were just a little longer though. Anyway, point being, I'm hurt by this, and while I can forgive her because I recognize that she's suffering and that whatever's going on in her head, I mean, she's doing it to herself, right? She makes up these things, and those are her reality. She chooses this reality. It's a hard one. Everybody's against her in her reality. Everybody's attacking her in her reality. She has to isolate herself from everyone, not just her family, but her friends too. And she's happy to sit at home with her husband and the baby now for her entire life, except for work, which she does from home now. And, I'm glad that satisfies her. I'm glad she has a place where she gets happiness and fulfillment. But man, to isolate yourself from your entire support system, the people who love you, that's some serious pain. And it's so sad. I mean, I'm so sad for her. But like I said, I'm pretty hurt by her actions. I don't get to see the baby ever. And it would only stop if I apologized. But as I said, there's no reason to apologize for me. I did not do anything wrong. I was nothing but kind, even though I had to call her on some shit. Sometimes you have to do that. You can't let people get away with being a total douchebag when it's hurting other people. Like, if it was just me, fine, but it was hurting my mother. It just, at a really bad time to be hurting her, right after she'd had a stroke. So, so I said something, but I said it in such a, now I'm repeating. But, and I just mentioned what her relationship to me is. I was trying to keep that not so clear. Anyway, yeah, so I mean, it's just so sad to see, and I can forgive her because of her her hurt, her pain. There's some scary geese, but I'm just gonna walk by them confidently because they are leaving me alone. They're totally leaving me alone, and there we are. They left me alone. See, positive thinking. If I thought, don't attack me, I would have been all weird near them, and they would have attacked me. I don't know if that's ever happened to me, but I have this fear of it. Anyway, point is, I can forgive her because I can understand that she's suffering, and it's so sad. And I wish I could help her, but I can't. What I need to do, though, in this situation is let go of the hurt, which is harder, right? Because it's a soul hurt. It's being deprived of an important relationship. You know, like it feels like a part of me, you know? But I mean, I hate to think about the baby growing up without some sort of contact with me. But that's the way it's going to be until it isn't, you know? So I gotta let go of I keep going in circles with this. I gotta let go of the hurt, which means that every time it comes up, so that's why it's good for me to be discussing it with you, because every time it comes up, I can hear myself getting like my voice gets louder, my heart beats faster. I get like this. That's my upset thing. When I notice myself doing that, I can relax and release, right? So that's how I'm processing this right now. And my hope for you all is that when things come up, because you work on the things that come up, right? You don't have to search for them. There's always something that comes up. And this is what came up for me. You work on those things, and if you're in a position where you're finding it hard to forgive someone, my advice to you, because it's really, that, and it's cliche, but that's saying, like, resentment resentment is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die, right? Like, it accomplishes nothing. Even if what you want is to hurt them, you being angry doesn't do it. And really, should you want to hurt them? Think about that. I don't blame you. Sometimes I want to hurt people too. But hey, folks. I didn't say hi to the owners. I say hi to the dogs. Yeah, let's change that. So, right? So the people that you're angry at are miserable for some reason. There's a reason that they did whatever it is they did, whether it's only their fault or it's a dual thing. It's usually a dual thing. I usually claim my responsibility first off, but anyway. It takes two to argue usually. Or it does take two to argue. Just one of them can be right. The other can just be wrong. Anyway, so think about the person. Think about what it is that, maybe they're miserable about. Maybe there's like some pain in their life, and that's why they did what they did. Try to understand it and forgive them, because forgiving is just letting go, right? It's understanding, it's compassion. And it's compassion for yourself, really, because why carry that around? We all carry those things around, and they ruin our lives, really. They come up at the weirdest moments, and they make us feel bad, and they're not happening at that moment. They haven't happened for a while. What happened with my sister? I didn't mean to say that out loud. What happened with her happened over the summer. And granted, the repercussions are still happening, and they will, which is sad. But what I can do about it is get rid of the feeling that I should feel bad about it all the time. That's not one that's useful. This is low hanging fruit, right? This is there's no upside to holding on to this. So, right? So if you're feeling it difficult to forgive, and I know that anger might keep you from trying to see their side, but if you can, take a deep breath, relax, and look at them with some sort of compassion. I really want to be a good person. It's the driving force. Like, I really want to be a good person, which is in a way selfish because I mean, is it the way that I get people to like me? I don't know, but it's nice to be nice. That's just the truth, right? Um, but because my driving force is that, and not being angry or holding a grudge or whatever the emotion is, I find it easier to do what I have to do to get to heal from it than to grow from it, because that's what I want. And when that becomes stronger, like my spiritual growth is what I want, right? It's what I want. And it's not just about being a nice person. I mean, you can hear that. So maybe you can hear me better this way if my ears turn away from the wind. If I walk backwards, Is that better? I think that's better, right? Okay. So, but I can't see what anybody who's coming, so that might not be the best idea. Let's stop right here, and so we can avoid the wind. So, super long. This is taking way longer than it needs to. The point is, like, this growth, this work that I'm doing, isn't about being a nice person, but it is a nice side effect that I like. I like the identity of being a nice person and being kind. That's who I want to be. But this work is about not suffering. This work is about enjoying life, because when we hold on to these things, we don't enjoy life, and there's no reason for it, like none. None. There's no reason to hold on to something that happened yesterday, 5 minutes ago, 20 years ago, 40 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, there's no reason to hold on to that. It happened, it's gone, it's done. And yet, I mean, this is something I specialize in. I know I do it more than most people, but we all hold on to those things. And when they get stuck, they get struck by something that happens in life, something that happens, just kind of plays that chord and strums the instrument or whatever the case may be, and hits that stuff, whatever it was, that stuff comes back and you start hurting the way it hurt you then. And there's no reason for that. Why go through life like that? Why go through life suffering? Why not minimize it as much as possible? And that's what this work is about. So I just want to live. And honestly, also, I mean, spiritual, I mean, obviously spiritual, but like, as far as my spirituality is concerned, um, I'm not a religious person, but I am a spiritual person. And the idea that we are the universe made conscious of itself blows me away. Like, this whole universe was created 13.8 billion years ago. Stars smashed into stars. Stardust got discharged. They formed into planets. The planets somehow got water. And then things lived in the ocean, and oxygen happened. And then things climbed out of the ocean, and there were plants. And they ate the plants. and then the dinosaurs, and then the dinosaurs stopped, and then it happened all over again with the monkeys, right? So the fact that we have evolved to the point where, um, hey there, I don't know how to spell your, how to say your name, I'm sorry, but hi from Nepal. Um, I, that distracted me. I shouldn't do that. So the spirituality, the idea that, we evolved after 13.8 billion years to a point where something happened in our brain. Something, is it our brain? Who knows? Something happened where we are now aware of being aware, right? We're conscious. We are conscious of the self. And as far as we know, I mean, there's a certain amount of self-awareness in a lot of animals, but as far as we know, being aware of being aware, being able to plan, being able to change their environment. I mean, to a degree, apes can, right? But they can use tools, but it's not like they can build a house or a rocket ship to go to the moon. Somehow that's happened, and we are this light. We all have this light of consciousness, of awareness, and that's amazing. And if that's the case, I don't have a right to mess around with it. You know what I mean? I don't have a right to feel bad. And I mean, look at all this stuff that's here. And then in the end, whoever, whatever, I don't know what it was, give us this consciousness because it's so awesome. It's like, to me, it's like the universe is like, this is pretty fucking cool. I need someone to appreciate this. And then we came into being. That's how I feel about it. So if we're not appreciating the world around us and everything that's going on, and we are acting against God, and ourselves, because we are part of God, right? We are the universe made conscious of itself, and physically we're made up of sun dust and stardust and all that kind of crazy stuff. So I'm totally off the point. I have gone way off, way off. Um, and sorry, I just got distracted again. So forgiveness. Forgive the person, have compassion for them. If you're having a hard time with that because you're angry, consider their pain. Consider consider the fact that they're hurting, and if that makes you happy, that's not the best for your soul. So uh, I get so distracted. I'm getting texts and then they're distracting me. Sorry. So yeah, so if you are angry at someone and you're having a hard time finding it in yourself to be compassionate, think about what you want more. Do you want to be a spiritual person, a spiritually growing person, a person who puts their spiritual growth um, ahead of their anger, their attachments, their preferences? I mean, if you get to the point where that's more important, then it's much easier. It's swallowing humility. It's humility. You know what I mean? It's swallowing your pride. It's allowing your ego to just release, because it's about ego. They hurt me, you know. Um, so if you can find it in yourself to have that be the more important thing, you can look at people with more compassion. You can try and understand them better. It's not always easy. It's not. It takes work. And then I don't know if you can let go of the hurt before you forgive someone, which comes first, the chicken or the egg. I know that I forgave before I could let go of the hurt. Um, but letting go of the hurt is really the main thing. Forgiveness, sure, but that's for you. I mean, all of it is for you. But I mean, what makes the difference is letting go of the hurt, letting go of the anger. And then we do that by how? What? Relaxing and releasing. That's right. Every time it comes up. So my talking to you about my situation, my family situation, has helped me immensely. So thank you guys very much for allowing me to work that out on the video. Not that you could really stop me, and you're probably not watching at this point because it's been a long one. Um, I would like to say thank you. I hope this is helpful because this is just embarrassing if it's not. Uh, and Yeah, thank you guys. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful for the spirituality that I found, that I'm getting more in contact with the universe, that I'm growing. Every every point of pain is an opportunity for growth. And I know it's hard in the beginning to see that or to feel that, or like when you think it, you're like, oh, damn it. No, it's not. I feel wrong and I feel hated. Well, not wronged or hatred or wronged or wrong and hated, whatever the case may be, whatever the pain is. Uh, I know it's hard to let go, but it takes practice. So don't give up if you try once or twice or three times. It, you have to do it every time. Every time. It gets easier. I promise you. It gets a lot easier to let go of stuff. And I'm not even doing it as much as I should. I'm not focusing on it as much as I would like to be. I am busy building my business, however. If you guys know anybody who needs a book written to help their relationships with their clients, to attract new clients for visibility and credibility, position themselves as an authority, get on more podcasts and stages. If you guys know anybody who needs a book like that, let me know. Meanwhile, I'm grateful for all of you. I'm grateful for the universe. And I'm going to remind you, as I always do, that you can always choose to have a great day.